Last week we talked about whether you would prefer an offensive or defensive team. We kind of saw a little bit of both of those over the weekend.
Well, yeah, I mean, you always want to be a team that creates chances, and you saw that on Friday night. And it was good to get a lot of people on the score sheet, and certainly it was nice to see Emery get the hat trick. And you always want your attacking players confident. And then Sunday was a little different tale. But that's soccer for you. You know, there are going to be times where you're going to have to grind it out, and getting a shutout always gives you a chance to win, and that's exactly what happened on Sunday. So, as far as this weekend, as I reflect on it, did we score goals? Certainly we did, and did we play good defense and able to keep the shutout on Sunday? Absolutely. And so, the thing I like about that is that it shows that we can play two different types of games, and we're going to get that in the coming games in conference.
Goal scoring is attractive. Do you feel that the defense is maybe getting overshadowed a little bit by the scoring assault that the offense has put on?
Well, you can ask all our defenders about that, and they're going to tell you that let them keep scoring goals, because it takes a lot of pressure off of them. And when we're able to create chances and score goals, it's hard for the opponent to really press us and put us on our back foot. And so it changes the game for our back line. Now our back line is going to be players who are going to have the ball that maybe generate attacks versus digging a trench line and then being able to absorb for a long period of time. Now, granted, we're going to play teams that we're going to have to absorb attacks over a period of time. But when you have those type of players who can be a threat going forward, it does take the pressure off. And I've said this before, it's almost like getting run support in baseball for a pitcher. When you go up 6 or 7-0 in a baseball game, it changes the way a pitcher can go about it. And I think it's the same thing for our defense. So goal support is huge for us.
You're undefeated at home. 3 of the games have been shutouts, and then there was a late goal against Green Bay. Did the guys in the back take that a little personally to give up that goal?
Yeah, I think they did, and rightly so. I think there's a standard that they want to kind of live up to every time they go out and play, and that's something that they're certainly going to want to clean up. And I thought we did clean it up for Sunday, but going forward, that's a good thing. I think that being particular about things that matter, especially in that situation that you're referring to, the corner kick, we got to be able to defend corner kicks, and we spent a lot of time working on it. And those are the type of plays that can change a game. So for us to be detailed oriented and care about those little precise scenarios, it's crucial.
Emery was, you mentioned, he also was named the TopDrawSoccer.com National Player of the Week. Just how productive can he be? What is his potential?
I think his potential is as much as he wants to make it, and as much as the team continues to play well. Emery will be the first guy to tell you it's important that the whole team plays well, so that an attacker like Emery can finish chances. In order to finish chances, you got to create them. And so you got a lot of guys that are behind Emery that are creating opportunities, and sometimes those creative moments go unsung. And our guys need to be able to continue to create those chances. And Emery happens to be in the right spots, and he's worked hard to get in those spots. And I think that's been the difference between last year and this year, is that he's very opportunistic with his movement off the ball. His movement off the ball has been just fantastic, so it's very hard to pin him down. And then when you include the ball movement, which has been very, very good, then all of a sudden Emery doesn't become the total focus. You have other people that can step up. So for us to not be a one-trick pony is crucial. But having said that, you want a player or two, and right now it's Emery that feels that they're in good form and have good confidence and can score on any play, and that's the way you want those guys to feel.
Some teams, if they have too much, say, offensive talent, and basketball is talked about a lot, there's only one ball to share. But is it almost a good thing to have enough talent where everybody can shine in their own way?
Absolutely. I think when you look at soccer and maybe the professional level, and what these guys look for, and you look at the Barcelonas or the Real Madrids, what they've done is that they have shown that the highest level, it's about how you share the ball. It's about how you share it. And certainly there are different sports where, there are not enough balls on the field. But in soccer, it's how you move the ball, how you pass the ball, and then how you spring players forward. And that's probably for our sport a good role model that we have at this time. So our guys enjoy passing the ball. They enjoy passing the ball. They enjoy getting into spots and springing people open. In the Irvine game yesterday, there were a couple of very good opportunities that Emery actually set up for other players. And so, those are the interchangeable parts that we want to see. And Emery's been very good at being the focal point of being the finishing piece, and he needs to continue to do that. But I think that our guys going forward, and you see the stats, we got a lot of guys with a lot of goals and a lot of assists, and that's a good sign because we want to, be able to spread the wealth so that it's not focused always on Emery. Emery's going to have, the two defenders, and he's going to be a marked guy. But we have other guys we think that can also get it done.
The team could be getting some looks for some national polls in the coming weeks. How does a head coach view those polls?
National polls, it's other people's perceptions, and you and I had a conversation. Some people perceive us one way and other people perceive us another way. And, it's something that, to be quite honest with you, we can't get caught up in. And what someone's opinion of how we're doing can't be something that sways us of how we prepare for our standards. And I think our guys have done a really, really good job of really focusing on our standards and what we have to do. Because at the end of the day, that's what we can control. We can't control somebody's opinion. The other things that will come out to be true statistically are wins and losses. And so, dealing with the wins and losses, I think the other piece that's going to be in our favor is their strength of schedule. Strength of schedule has been fantastic. And so we've handled it well so far. And fortunately for our conference, I think our conference has had a good non-conference season. When you look at the number of teams who have done quite well and have good records and played strong schedules, and that's going to help all of our conference teams. I think one of the initiatives for all of the coaches in the conference is to get multiple bids. I think we're all tired of getting to single bid. Everybody feels that there are enough good teams to get multiple bids. So, with that and the media polls and whatnot, it's nice to get that recognition, and I'm happy for Emery. He'll accept the honor on behalf of his teammates, and that's fantastic. But the main stat is the one that comes at the end of the year.
And the games start to count on Sunday. What is the conference outlook for the Pac-12, and where does Oregon State fit in?
The conference outlook for the Pac-12, I think, it's going to be quite fun, to be honest with you. I think the conference, as far as wins and losses and strength of schedule, is up, and it's probably last 3 or 4 years when you're talking about being maybe number 1, number 2 conference in the country. It's been a while since I think we've been that. And you got 4 or 5 teams that are the top 40, 50 in as far as projected RPI scenarios and whatnot. So that bodes well. Now when we get into play, they're going to be tough games. They're always tough games. But one of the things that you want to have when you go into the conference season and you have those very, very difficult matches, and if you can win some of those matches, you want to be able to put yourself forward for a tournament bid. And I think all of us going in, including Oregon State, we're looking to win the conference. That's everybody's agenda going into October. So it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really challenging, and for us to open up in Seattle is going to be a great opportunity to play the Huskies again. It's always fun when we play each other.
Is there any advantage to opening the conference schedule with just a single game against Washington next weekend? Does it give the team a chance to focus just on that one opponent?
You know what? There are certain years where having the single game might make some sense. The way the schedule laid out for us this year, this weekend we had the 2 games. The weekend before we had the 1 game, and the weekend before that we were in the Midwest with 2 games. So the single game this weekend probably ends up being okay for us, But having said that, while we'll get the extra rest after the game against Washington, it's 4 straight weekends of Friday, Sunday. And so we've got to be prepared for that. So going into Washington, having maybe another day or two to prepare and focus on them would be great. But I'm looking down the road here, we're not going to have that luxury after Washington. So we're going to have to be prepared going forward for sure.
Now, just to look back one more time, the team won its 200th game in school history on Friday. You've been a part of the staff in various capacities. Does it hold any special meaning to you to be a part of that?
Yeah, I think it's something that you kind of reflect on in hindsight, maybe after the season's done and whatnot. But it's certainly a milestone for the program for sure. And I think about my time here and the people I have had a chance to work with, and even my time when I was an assistant coach about 10 years ago, and all those people and players, and then think about Jimmy Conway, the coach before Dana Taylor, and all the players he had, and I know a lot of those guys, and so it's quite a history. And just on a side note, I feel pretty honored to be a part of the history. But when you think about that, you kind of give yourself about 10 seconds and you get back to work. And hopefully we can keep things going. The thing that I hear from our alums who played soccer here is that they want us in the tournament, and I agree with them. So we've enjoyed this last weekend, but as of today, it's back to business and preparation. But it is a nice milestone, and it's very, very nice to be a part of.